So welcome back to the Christian Entertainment TV show here on GNTV. And gone by, that was Edith with Gospel Concert and Top 10, and Belinda with Stick and Star. I don't agree with one of the baddest. No, they serve me food. Make I wait for the rest. No, no, but that was Belinda and Edith. And they will come next week Saturday. And we do the show 5:15 to 7 p.m. And from now to 7 p.m, we're going to have our main discussion for the day. And today we're discussing the gospel industry and corporate Ghana. We're trying to put a link. You know, when you look at the gospel industry now, from June to December, plus or minus, you have like 20 events from now to December. And Praise Reloaded, Agape, Carnival, Women in Worship, a lot of events before the year ends. But when you look at all the process of these events, or most of the process of these events, there are no sponsors. You're trying to understand whether, one, we are doing something wrong in the gospel industry, or two, corporate Ghana doesn't look at us. We try and make meaning to some of these things. And have you realized that for the past 5, 10, 15 years, I don't know the last time I saw a corporate institution sign a gospel artist as an ambassador? What's wrong? We try and understand some of these things here on the show. And I carefully selected my panel members today so we can have this interesting discussion. In the last 10 minutes, I'm going to open the phone line so you can call and share your views. But your WhatsApp line is 050-143-2820. 050-143-2820. You can send your WhatsApp ahead of time and contribute to this discussion. And I have 3 great friends with me today. They're going to help us understand this issue very, very well. I wanted someone, but I didn't get a person. But still, the people I have are going to bring great impact today on the show. From the blue collar. It's a man that has been. This is his first time he's been on the show, but you all know him. He says he's the tallest broadcaster in Ghana, and he's the host of the morning show at Vision 1. So if you wake up and you tune into 93.5 a year, you're sorry now, yo! He's a great friend. He manages so with us, Nat Abbey. He said he manages himself too. And a lot of young guys in the industry, and he does a lot of events in the gospel space. And he's a great guy, great worshiper. His name is Obi Nati. Obi, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Very first time.
Yeah, very first time.
The tallest broadcaster.
It looks like a family reunion.
Yes, family reunion. Yeah, yeah, so that's Obi Nati. Next to Obi Nati, I have a lady. I have to read her profile. She's a big lady. She's a big woman, so I have to read her profile. Ifwa Moesi Andor. She's a non-fuel retail category manager at Vivo Energy. Ifwa, you're welcome.
Thank you for the fine introduction.
But before I go, you know, Ifwa was the former branch manager for Lifebuoy. You know that soap. I was the former branch manager for Peak Milk. So we're going to have an interesting discussion here. Offset, one of my panel members asked her if she's a Christian. If she's going to have an interesting discussion here on the show today. So Ifwa, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Great. And that's to Ifwa. I have a regular face. Great guy. Always when he comes on the show, I get a lot of people calling me, bring him back. We like his inputs. And he's the one who brought relevance to the show. The word relevant. Because he likes saying, is this relevant? Is this not relevant? And he's the relevant man. Frankie 5, manager for Dasi. Frankie. And the host of TIG show on Hit 7. Frankie, you're welcome.
Great to be here.
Yes. You're welcome to the relevant TV show.
I'm humbled.
Okay, so that's what we're going to discuss. Gospel industry, corporate Ghana. We're trying to find a link. Why that space? We want to try and put a rope so we can have a link by 7 p.m. today. So that's what we're going to do here on the show. Let me start with you, Obi. Obi, yeah. Somewhere last year you did a show. So nice. You did a show at Perezo.
Yes.
Did you get sponsorship?
It was at the Royal House.
Sorry. Did you get sponsorship?
We didn't.
You didn't get sponsorship.
Yes. So we should start from there.
No. Hold it. I want to.
What kind of sponsorship are you talking about? Like corporate
sponsorship?
No, we didn't.
You didn't get sponsorship.
It was a solely funded program.
Solely funded. Yes. Frankie. The event today, I think 2 years ago. Did you get any corporate sponsorship?
Yeah, fortunately, I got Kasaprekon to partner with me with a week.
Okay.
And it didn't go well.
It didn't go well.
Yeah. I'll dig into it tonight on the show.
They give you cash or they give you.
Oh, we go talk about them.
We're going to talk about that. Okay. So these are the perspectives we're going to pick the issue for.
Interesting. But why are you picking on the failures to start the show?
I want my viewers to understand the kind of people I brought on the show today. Ever, I've been giving any gospel institution, gospel artists, gospel event sponsorship before, from Peak to Live Boy to now Vivo Energy.
Oh, that's an interesting question because I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
Yes,
You
if
don't?
I have, it hasn't made an impression on me yet, so I don't remember.
You don't remember that?
Yes.
Okay, you remember before the show is. You remember before the show anymore. So let's start.
Sure.
Obinate,
Yeah.
you know there's been talk in the industry. People, we talk a lot.
Exactly.
We don't get sponsorship. But the question is, do we even send proposals to this institution?
I think for well-established event organizers, most of them do send proposals. Now, if we want to look at the gospel and then corporate, I think there are two different things that have two different agendas and two different purposes. If we talk of the gospel, we are propagating the word of God through our music and through events. Now, the corporate guys are people who have their own policies for giving back to the society. As in, like the banks, they have what they want to do for the society. Where she's working, I'm sure they have what they want to do, and they want to do it at a specific time within a specific period of time. For instance, we sending proposals to them. Sometimes we don't send it early. Sometimes we don't even know when they're supposed to pick up their budgets to even consider what we've brought to them. So there is something we'd have to learn from the corporate industry, and as gospel guys or gospel event organizers, we should know and do it, because for them, they don't look at your religious background. They are interested in numbers, followership. Do you have it? You don't have it. You don't have the clouds. We can't go with you.
That's all they're
It's as simple as that, because they don't mind whether you're a Buddhist, whether you are a Muslim. No, all they're interested in, do you have what it takes to push our brand? Because you go to some of them and you tell them, I'll put you on the billboard. Hello.
They can do the
Like we have billboards. Are you getting me? But they're looking at the kind of impact that you have on their institution. But most of the gospel industry, or most of the gospel event organizers, we don't even have the artists to go and pull these people to come to us. So how do we even make?
No, if you say you don't have the artists, we have artists. Last 2 years, a gospel person won the artist of the year. I think that year when he did this program, Vodafone came on board. The years after,
because he won the Vodafone, he won the Vodafone, he won the Vodafone, he won the Vodafone, he won the
Vodafone Ghana Music Awards.
Exactly.
Okay, hold it. Sure. So, Frankie, what do you think that we are doing wrong? From what he's saying that they are looking at numbers. They are actually looking at numbers, but they are not looking at we saying we'll give them a feature somewhere small on the billboard. We'll give them a mention in the last 2 seconds or 3 seconds in the TVC or the jingle. They are not looking at that. So what are we doing wrong?
We aren't doing anything wrong. The gospel players, with regards to musicians, event organizers, and other auxiliary providers, logistics providers, have all suffered a lot in the hands of corporate Ghana for over the years. It didn't start today. It started way back till today. Unfortunately, the interest and the taste, the appetite for secular music consumption is very high when it comes to the corporate guys. That's what we have studied the trend for some years now. We've done everything we can to attract the eyes of the corporate industries in Ghana, and yet we aren't getting what they say they are looking for.
So if you say okay, you when you're done.
If you say you are looking for numbers, I can bet that from January to now, check all the gospel event that's been organized. Just oppose that to the corporate event that's been organized. Check the numbers and check the rates. You find out that most of the time we beat them, if not the top-notch people, like the 4S people who are organizing it. We always beat them with numbers and even with value. When I say value, the rates that we charge, we even charge for events. Now we are able to beat them.
Yeah,
When I say we're able to beat them, our pricing are even higher, and yet
how much we
are
charge
able
for-
to we are
picture.
able to galvanize that support, and our people come in their numbers, irrespective of the venue. Number two, they need what we call. So, what can you do to impact our brand? I'm surprised that a lot of corporate institutions here in Ghana pen down big deals and contracts for artists. I wouldn't want to mention names in this country, and they well know that these artists, most of them are leading our country, young people astray. And yet they will come back and tell you that, what kind of impact can you give me? What impact wouldn't I give you when you go outside my quarters and you go and give a deal to somebody who will sit on radio and pull out guns on TV, and you see clearly on social media they are pulling out guns? So that's the impact you want. You end up, and it's unfortunate that you visit these corporate institutions and the heads. I asked her if she's a Christian. She said yes. And unfortunately, you go there and most of these heads are Christians. But I tell you, the Christian was.
I'll make you come in.
Christians will struggle like thieves to be able to attract, even catch the eyeballs of these heads who sit on these high places. It's very unfortunate. You get it? I have been on a deal with my artists about 4 years ago, and they had to choose between my artist and a secular artist, and they went for the secular artist.
Why?
But in that particular year, there were a lot of scandals around that secular artist.
No, but why do you think they went for the secular?
Okay, let me tell you, the flimsy.
No, Frankie should understand that this is
I'm coming.
corporate.
No, I'm coming. I want to know why they went for the secular. No. Why they went for the secular?
You're finished.
I'm not going religious, but I'm saying that it is interesting to note that those who sit on these decks are Christians. Let that be at the back of their minds.
Yes.
That should be a reminder to them when they are signing any deal. Because we will all go up there and we'll go answer. We'll go and answer to
We'll go
the
answer
other.
there.
No problem. You have scandals around this guy, and yet you went ahead and gave the deal to the guy, leaving my artist out. So I came back home and I was asking myself so many questions. I'm like, what did I do wrong? You wanted numbers, I had numbers. That period, my artist took about 3 awards. So what stops you from just giving me that deal, Madam, Mr. Elder of, I'll mention the name of the church. And I lost it.
You lost it. Perfect.
It saddens my heart that we have suffered this plague for years. And I'm very happy that a very beautiful young lady is sitting right in between us.
Who
I don't
has
want
been
Obi
breastfed
to
off.
go on that tangent. Obi, leave that tangent. Leave where you are. No, hold on.
want to be
Obi,
fair.
Obi,
Because hold on. We need to understand why.
No.
We're getting it.
We get the why.
I know your brother.
He's
Your brother
He's
your brother
justifying.
is needing help. Your
Yeah,
brother
yeah,
needs
we'll
help.
not
have
Nat needs help. You and I know Nat
we'll
needs help.
come to that. We'll come
So
to the
I
why.
beg the tangent you are traveling on,
allow-
drop it. They
allow-
are here.
allow-
Let's
we'll hear from
query
the
them
horses,
and get to
yes.
know why
Yes.
they always
Perfect.
want to go to the
Frankie-
other market and leave our
Frankie,
people.
very well.
They are here.
We have some time,
Very
right?
well. Yes, that's
So
what-
don't
yeah,
travel on that
that's what-
tangent. You are
That's
just
very
being
well.
too nice.
Frankie-
I'm surprised.
Frankie, very well, very
You
well.
finish and go and fire on social media.
Very well. Everyone,
Yeah,
you realize it's all about you now.
it's quite exciting.
So do you get like I start again from Live Boy to Peak to now to Vivo Energy? I'm sure you've got a lot of gospel proposals or gospel event organizers presenting proposals on your table. You get some, right? You've gotten some and you still get some,
Before, yes.
but now you don't.
No.
Vivo they don't come,
No.
but Peak they
I've
came.
not- Yes.
Live Boy they came. Some came. Okay, so can you explain to us what goes into choosing who and what to give the sponsorship deal to? That's my first question.
No, you know, when he was speaking, I like that when he met me, the first question he asked
If you're a Christian.
was if I was Christian. And to me, I think that is where we get it wrong from the start. Because we expect that because the fellow I'm speaking to is Christian, I should get that same accord from her because you know, we are on that relationship, and if you don't give your Christian brother or sister the sponsorship, then it's wrong. I see that most of the time other proposals that we get are more business competitive They show you exactly what you are looking for as a business. You want to know the objectives, you want to know what exactly this proposal is about. What are we getting for as a company? Are we identifying ourselves with this proposal? Is it the same cause that the company stands for, the brand stands for, whatever? Even if it's a CSR program, do we stand for the same kind of idea? So we need to look at all these things. If it's a gospel program and you are looking at promoting, what cause should I give as an example? For instance,
promoting drug abuse.
Drug abuse. Why would I go to a company that is promoting, let's say, road safety?
But we don't know which company proposes, because you have in-house policies.
Most of the time, companies are out there on social media, on the internet, so we have a fair idea of what each company stands for. We know that this company stands for maybe road safety, this company is standing for maybe water, sanitation.
But you also agree with me that annually they change their CSR. Okay, they say we are focusing on road safety.
You see, sometimes
next 2
it
years
does,
we're going to that.
but they are similar, they are close. Okay, if a company is standing for sanitation, they do different things, because a company wants to create an image over time. So they can do different things under sanitation. Maybe they'll do hygiene, maybe they'll do water. You know, they'll do things under sanitation which would promote the company to be seemingly a company that promotes sanitation in the country, so that they'll be identified as such. You are creating that name, that brand for the company, so you are consistent on that course. Exactly. So at least you have a fair idea of where the interests of the company are. But most of the time we see that a gospel artist's proposal may not necessarily be in line with your plan, and that makes it difficult to actually even vouch for that program and support it. So sometimes,
so that's one of the reasons.
Yeah, sometimes you even have to take it upon yourself to coach them on the kind of things that they need to supply to you, to be able to even see a loop way that you can be able to help them. You see, and you know, most of the time, if we have other proposals, they are more business minded, but proposals from our Christian community are more brotherhood, sisterhood minded. It may be a short, a letter just introducing a like church, a one-page letter introducing the church. I'm not saying it should be lengthy, but we should bring out the key issues. What program is it? What am I doing? How is it linked to your company's program or objectives, goals, etc.? How do I benefit you? How would you also, you know, reap benefits from me? How can we collaborate, be partners, do something together to be fruitful? Who are we impacting? How many are these people? What is the budget? Real issues that we can actually track, measure, and make informed decisions about. And that is where we don't get to.
Okay, I get it. When you listen to her submission, she's made a lot of points where she moved from most of the gospel people don't align with their objectives, and she went ahead to also say that we don't sell ourselves well with our proposals, right? So now I'll start from the second one to the first one, because the first one is quite strategic. We don't sell ourselves well in our proposals, like you're saying. Some of them just bring a one-page document and all of that, and you have to meet them and all of that. Obi,
sure,
I'm coming back to you.
I'm here.
You've said a lot of things that yes, they are looking at numbers and all of that, but with what she's saying, the alignment, the strategic alignment and all of that, it means that we have a place in their corporate space. But the second point downplays or cuts us out.
Sure.
Do you think that if we get some of these things right, we can now be
exactly my point. What I'm saying is that when you pick up a proposal, there's no written Christian, there's no written Buddhism or whatever religion it is. We're looking at the kind of proposal you have prepared to whoever you want to seek sponsorship. I'm looking at where gospel event organizers, gospel artists will invest into people who can prepare proposals well. I think it's time we stand up to the task and meet them boot for boot. Prove ourselves that we can equally do what you're doing. But trust me, we don't invest into proposals. We don't invest into branding. We are not attractive and we want to go to corporate Ghana. I think we rather have to pray and get our businesses and sponsor our own programs.
We don't want to do that.
Exactly, because when you go there, they're going to use their technicalities to put our proposal somewhere. All I'm saying is that Frankie is here, gospel artist, you are here. What have we done to present a proposal and it is irresistible?
No, but some of them, you see, some of them have also, like Frankie is saying, his program he did last 2 years, Awake came in, sponsored. That means he did something, he sold himself well.
Awake, if you don't know, Awake, the background of Awake is a Christian.
I know it's a Christian, I know they've done something with
exactly.
and
The
all
background
of that.
is so you should understand where I'm coming from. That most of the companies we send our proposals, we don't even know the kind of religion they're coming from.
No, but it's about religion. If it's about numbers, then Joe Metal is having an event on the 30th of June at Presdom, the biggest venue we have in Ghana now. Almost 14,000. And when you look on the bill, there's no corporate institution on it.
And that's what I'm saying.
So it's about Christian, Muslim. It's about numbers, like you're saying.
So if it's about numbers, how well has he presented his proposal? We are here, we're talking. You've not seen the proposal, I have not. And even why is that Joe Metal, our biggest act now, why the corporate Ghana is not chasing him? We should be asking ourselves questions. Kasapra, that he mentioned, has picked out Shatawale and has given him a brand name for a drink. Why?
And it's not alcoholic drink.
No, yes, it's not alcoholic, which should have been a Christian.
Yes.
So what is the problem? It means that there is something we would have to sit back and then look into ourselves as a Christian institution or organizers. Let's sit down and let's come together and find out what is it that we are not doing right before we launch into it. Because if we don't prepare ourselves well, we'll keep doing the balabala events
and move around. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So Frankie, let me come back to you. Now she said a point, very very clear point. A 2 minutes or 3 minutes submission gives a lot of issues we are not getting right. One, we don't align strategically to their goals. Two, we don't sell ourselves well. And if you leave the proposal, we are gone. It's left with her. We don't know the time she look at it, whether soft or hard copy, and review it by so. But we are not there. But we don't sell ourselves well.
Not to catch you.
Yeah.
And even when you get to the corporate environment, I'm giving an example. Let me just mention the name. I have a friend on Vodafone, top-notch manager. I was sending a proposal for men of worship to him. I was like, well, at that level, he doesn't want to involve himself. He wants to be reserved. So even the Christians at these corporate institutions also are withdrawn. And they don't even want to get involved with all the proposals we send to them.
Why?
So ask the Christians.
Well, I'll say for
So it means that there's something we have to get and possess. The thing is for us,
yes.
But we are being.
I'm I'll say for.
No, I can understand that. If I can ask what he was saying.
Finish before I come to Frankie.
Okay.
Frankie is so.
No, okay, then.
It's on fire. No. Finish.
Okay, so I can understand him. The reason why someone may not want to really follow up your proposal for you is that he actually identifies the loopholes to it. I actually coach people who send proposals to me that I do not know on what they should do with the proposal, what they should put in there, so that I would be able to even defend it. Because sometimes I see an interest in the proposal as something that can project the brand in a certain way that I am looking for the company. You understand? So because I see that gold in it, but they have not shown it, and because of that it may be rejected, I may have to coach you on asking you some questions on things that you should bring out in your proposal, bring it back, these questions answered, and then we can go and resubmit this for an approval. But I see that someone would not want to get attached to it because they feel that they know you, and if they are following up and sticking their head for something that is not right, of course, if I see someone in a corporate institution following up on something that is not right, it becomes questionable. I start to question the person. What do you have? What interest do you have in this proposal that makes you follow it up, even though we all know it's not meeting our plan.
Okay, I get you perfectly. I get you perfectly. Frankie, so let's go back to that question. So you had it. She stated all the reasons. You put
So
up
you see,
with
it's spinning around and it came back to the same point.
Yes,
See, you were going, but it came to the same point.
Let's hear your point.
So she said very interesting stuff that, listen, these are the things they use to always eliminate us.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Yeah. Very sad.
Yes.
Very, very sad.
They use that to eliminate. I won't use the word evaluate. You use it to eliminate because you have to. They have options. You see how she said it so nicely, and when after she died and said, "So I'm sorry. Would you have to represent it or come again next year?"
Yes.
Sadly, I agree that most of our people do not invest in proposal writing. I don't joke with proposals myself. I actually went to learn how to put together proposals. So me, I don't joke with it at all. And I pray that every artist will do same. Every artist will invest a little in getting somebody, a business manager, to put a bankable proposal together for this corporate institution. That I'll agree. Having said that, I'm saying that at a point there was a Muslim who was sponsoring my group No Tribe. Why? Because this country is molding the next generation of leaders, and one thing that is used, one key instrument used to mold a nation is music and film. And you see, the music that we do is always called audio visual, because after the music you shoot a video to it, and these things, our generation watch it. They watch it and learn the values in them. This is what we can use to mold a nation. So if you sit as the head of corporate banking in your bank, the bank you used to work with, you say, you not even help me. Then you sit and you decide that, what is my contribution to this country by molding the people of this country through sponsoring programs. I'm saying that if you're a Christian, and I'm not saying this to spike anyone. I'm saying that at a point a Muslim was sponsoring mine, so it's not religious.
No, personally, it's not.
But when you're a Christian and you sit on that desk, the Holy Spirit must remind you that your brother has come to lay a file. No, I'm coming.
Okay,
this woman is doing well. She goes the extra mile to call you
and say, come and sit down, let's do it.
Hey, she's a Christian, no?
She's a Christian. No, but you see,
most of them,
she's saying
they'll not even call you.
She's saying that.
They will just put it in
the corporate world.
They don't have time.
Holy Spirit.
She said that. She said that. She said
The
that.
corporate world doesn't understand Holy
You are
Spirit.
getting me wrong. You are
No, she
getting me
said that,
wrong.
Frankie. She said that. She said that.
Yes.
Some of them, the people don't want to associate themselves, because if you
I
follow,
agree. I agree.
probably a percentage or something.
I agree. That one I agree. There are a lot of companies who say that we don't sponsor gospel programs. I know. I've gone to quite a number of them. They say we don't sponsor gospel programs because we don't want to be known as gospel people. No, they want to serve everybody.
Exactly.
And I'm saying amongst them there are those who have interest in our music. Listen, why would you sit in your car and listen to Joe Metal song? Why don't you go and listen to the Kumpan? But when your children in the car, you want to play Holy Holy, and then you play the Joe Metal song for your children to listen when they are going to school in the morning. Why don't you play the Kumpan for them in the morning? So in the same way, you are nurturing your children in the car from the morning. Find some reason to help that boy Joe Metal. Find something. Listen, I've sat with Okreku Manti and he had calls. Companies calling, Mark, listen, the year is ending. We have some small budget. Can you put up something together and then let's put this an event together and take the budget? Yes. And they are Christians, so
and they don't do it for Christians.
that is my point. I'm not saying that we should link it.
So there's a big question mark.
Don't get me wrong. So what is wrong? So what is the problem?
So she said, I like the proposal. Wait, I'll be happy if you could help us do a seminar to address some of this. Yourself, Frankie, Obi, and some industry people. So after that, we will talk about it. But you see, that's the big question that everybody's thinking about. There's a sister of mine, Mama G. She's watching us now, and she's been doing women in worship for like 2-3 years. She brought Sinasha last year, her own money. The year before she brought in Tokozo, her own money. Like, you know, and that's a lot of money.
Thousands of cities.
So aside all of this, let's move from right now. You said a big problem that one, we are not doing something right. We are not presenting ourselves right. Two, the Christians are afraid to front because of they think percentages are in, they think that they don't want them to call them quife and all of that. You understand? So what should we do now?
I wish I could say something.
Say it before.
The way you were able to invite the three of us. Let's apply wisdom. The Bible said in all things.
Yeah.
The principal thing you need is wisdom.
Wisdom, yes.
If Iwa is on a board like that, and you know Iwa, what do you do? Invite. No, don't go to her. Invite her to join your team.
No, but she can't join every gospel artist.
No, I'm not saying she can join every. You will have the contact.
Yeah.
You will have the link with her. What we are supposed to do is rather find network within this corporate.
Obi, you are talking now.
It's not
talking.
No, but you see,
It's not saying your point.
you are not talking.
It's not saying your
He's
point.
now talking.
No, but before you.
Obi, you are not talking.
No. Let me land.
Lad, let me know. Right now, you better than the same point.
No, because we need the right proposal, the right network for approval.
Bam.
You see, the thing is that if we send an artist, I'm telling you, let me pick one artist. I don't want to mention him. Let's say
Nasi.
Nasi has a corporate.
No, you can use Akese.
Akese has a corporate. And Shabeti.
Obi.
You want? No, I just want.
Okay, you're just.
We're picking Shabeti to, let's say, Vivo, right? Now, what's the link? Are you seeing most of our gospel artists? I'm talking in general. The appeal to the corporate industry is not there, and we should just accept it and work on ourselves. This has been my point. I'm saying that when it comes to business, God is first, but I want all the principles, the doctrines, the policies, the things I've learned in school to work for me.
But you
I
also
don't put
agree,
those things there.
but you agree that for some years now, for
Yes.
about 3 years now,
Yes.
all the top events you see and the gospel artists who are headlining this event or their own event, you could see that they are well branded. They've well presented themselves so well.
Okay.
Check it yourself.
Okay.
Those names
Perfect.
you are mentioning, we don't see them organizing big shows. The big shows I have seen are making airways up. Well
But-
branded.
okay.
Before
you go.
Metal.
Joe Metal had
Nasi,
Goyle. Perfect.
Dana to help me.
Perfect.
They are all well presented.
Frankie,
Perfect.
Messi had Goyle.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to nullify
Dana
the point you are
Hamilton
making.
had-
The example you are making is nullified.
no,
Let's use
I'm just
some
letting you know
messages.
that
We are ready.
We can't-
we can't select.
Oh,
Frankie
who can
will
you
be-
miss her? And I already
Frankie will
know.
be-
select.
When you say this, they will take it
can't
away.
select.
Frankie,
We are
Frankie will
ready.
be
Selective.
We are ready.
It's okay. It's okay. Very well.
We are ready.
Let me read some comments. Let me.
We
are ready.
Kojikuzi says, "Great show, great people, great submissions." Just a point of correction. Before Joe Metal won Artist of the Year, Vodafone had already sponsored his annual event. Just fact and a point of correction. Regards to the big men and women in the studio. Thank you, Kwesi. I believe you come here this week and enjoy this. Also says this is a great show, great submissions. Now it's at the marketing department of Consolidated Bank. So now we'll come to you.
Console.
Yes, I have another one from Jeffrey. I have another one from Jeffrey. Jeffrey says, "Yes, great show, great submissions. We love it. Thank you very much." So let's Obi and Frankie, great submissions. Now we are getting somewhere. Let's try and get somewhere together. The point he made is a very great point.
Yeah.
You know, it's true, Frankie. Don't let us rule it out. There are some of them that are not bankable. Like, let's don't rule the point out. But my sister, let's help ourselves. He's a gospel artist manager. He manages a lot. He also manages one of the biggest gospel artists. His artist was nominated in Artist of the Decade. Nasi. You know Nasi? Yeah, he manages Nasi. So he manages a big brand. When you take up Joe Metal, it's probably the next biggest. So you should understand his cry. Yes. So if we are now advisors, we are assume we just don't know anything about your space. We are coming for sponsorship. What do you want us to do? Walk us through it.
Okay, for me, I would say, first of all, presentation is very important. As Christians, we feel that if I'm communicating with someone who is Christian, I should get feedback and it should be automatic. I've seen that in our line of arguments and it's wrong. We should do the right thing, and that's simple as that. We are principal people in the corporate industry, and we are accountable for what we do. And when we are sponsoring, it's a spend, and every one Ghana cedi you spend in the corporate environment is accounted for. And if you cannot do this, you cannot vouch and follow whoever it is. But I must say that the gospel industry has so much followership, and this is something that we should take up and use to our own benefit. First of all, even one church has strong followership, and these are loyal people, and when they believe in something, that's it. You can actually get them to do anything you want them to do, and that is what any company wants. They want their customers to be loyal, they want them to believe in what they are selling or proposing to them, and they want them to repeat purchase or their service, to patronize their service on a frequent or that's the bottom line. You are concerned about your customer. And if I'm going through a gospel artist, I'm communicating to my customer. I'm not communicating to the gospel artist, or I'm not reading the Bible to a church. I'm communicating to my customer. So we should understand who the end point for the company
So at that point, you
is.
take off emotions and everything.
You understand? You see, we have principles, and as Christians, we should also believe in these principles. Let's give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and give to God what belongs to God. If we know that this is the right thing to do, let's do it. Let's get our proposals right. Let's bring out the meaning of whatever project or activity that we intend to do. Let's make it relevant to the company's goals or principles or whatever they want to do. Let's ensure that we state exactly what we are looking for from this proposal. There are proposals that you receive and you don't even understand what it is. In the first place, there's even no contact person or number or email, and you receive so much.
And this comes from
you
the
are
gospel
thankful.
people?
You are thankful. I wouldn't say, but I'm just mentioning in general. We are just advising ourselves on what not to do and what to do. It's we receive so much, and I can understand that if a brand manager receives all these, she is milling it out, or he's milling it out for the best for the company, and not the best for you.
For you, because
So
you are looking at the company's interest.
exactly. You are on the company's side of the story, so you have to tell your story in such a way that the company believes in you and wants to partner with you because you are thinking of doing the same thing. There are instances where people come for sponsorship but end up become partners of the company. Let's look at it from that direction than just saying, oh, I'm Christian, so you need to align yourself with me because you are also Christian, and if you don't, you are the devil because you did not say yes to a Christian
If wife's in my church
proposal.
and she didn't help me get a sponsorship.
She's in your church.
No, I'm saying that that's it.
That's the idea. Okay.
Exactly.
But if for this year, from now to June, have you had some gospel proposals on your desk?
No, I am not receiving gospel proposals. My line of work now is not more in tune with gospel proposals, but I do get proposals on people wanting to do things with us. But it's the same.
No, but you get proposals.
Yes, it's
but
the same.
I mean, do you have gospel events in those proposals?
Yeah, we do.
This year, like have you had some on your desk?
I think my colleague has.
Your colleague has.
My colleague has, and I think once it meets the criteria, there's no.
You see how Frankie is looking at you. That means he's bringing it.
Yeah, once it meets the criteria, there's no argument. I think this is what any person is looking for. So once it meets that criteria, once you are able to demonstrate performance by associating with you, it's good for me.
It's for you. It's good.
Yes.
It's painful.
It's painful.
Because I'm looking at some of the artists we have here in Ghana and the kind of deals that like companies are picking them as ambassadors, some song and all those things. And I'm asking, what stops them from picking the gospel? Now, I'm also looking at this. We have some Christians who have huge companies in this country who can start throwing the challenge to corporate Ghana that listen, if you're not ready to hold our people, we'll hold them.
You hold our people. Yeah.
But where are they?
No, but some are doing well. Black Secret is doing well.
Yeah, I'm saying, but where are they? Where are they? We have Kingdom Books and Stationery. We have Tobinco.
Tobinco.
We have Unity. We have a lot.
Unity,
We have a lot of them who show their faces as Christians. But how many gospel artists are they able to hold up? Hold on, I'm going to take up this event and prove to the corporate world that listen, if we don't want it, we know what we get from here, because we love salvation.
Hello?
We love reading of songs, but they don't.
Okay. I think that the phone lines have been open, so I'll start picking calls. The number is 055-619-725. So I have a call online now. Hello, good evening. Your name and where you're calling from?
Hello?
Yes, good evening. Your name and where you're calling from?
I cannot hear you all.
Please, you call.
Okay, my name is Caleb. I'm calling from Madagascar.
Okay, Caleb. You're on. Kindly, sir.
You guys are doing a very good work, and
Thank you.
I'm really enjoying the show. But with regard to the topic you are treating today, let's see if somebody like MTN, which is a corporate organizational institution, the owner, let's say, is a Muslim, or let's say a Buddhist. I mean, what he or she, sponsor a Christian show.
Caleb, that's what we want to find out today.
Thank you.
He's gone.
Okay, Caleb. So you can call 055-619-725. 055-619-725. That's the number you can call us on. So you call the number and share your views. That's what
Is that MTN? And then like the person is a Muslim. So that's what I'm saying, that at that point we don't even need to know whether Efua is a Christian or not. What speaks for her is what she has presented and the kind of connection she has built.
That's what.
So it's as simple as that. And maybe let me say something about this, like the sponsorship. Look at Joe Metal. I don't want to speak for a certain group of people because it looks like when we're talking of gospel
artists, you are using Joe because he's the biggest.
Exactly, we keep using Joe, but there's a chunk of them. Joe held this program in whole and associated it with something about health. Vodafone is interested in health, so they sponsor. Now tell me, how many gospel artists have associations like this that can go to a certain corporate institution with this policy to sponsor them?
Hello, good evening. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Joe. I'm calling from Asiamah.
Yes, Joe, go ahead.
Yes, the topic you are treating is very interesting.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you see, the challenge I have with the other two panels, the lady and the other guy in the mosque.
Funky Five.
No,
hello?
Okay, you mean the lady and Obinati?
Yes.
Okay.
The challenge we have in Ghana is that Christian businessmen don't really understand why they are in business. The truth of the matter is that as a Christian, whatever business you are doing is for the promotion of the work of God and the promotion of the gospel. We have about 70% being Christian in Ghana, but when you are organizing a Christian event or a Christian anything Christian, it's so difficult for you to get sponsorship. But other people are sponsoring other things. Listen,
okay,
you can't be in the middle. Either you are sponsoring goods or you are sponsoring bad. You get it?
Okay.
Either you are promoting
Thank you very much.
the gospel or you are not.
Thank you very much.
So
Thank you very
the
much.
fact that you are a Christian, okay, yeah.
Thank you very much. From his point, it's either good or bad. I get it, but the issue is that I have a Christian company. Like you're saying, I'm looking at numbers. You know, at the end of the day, I give my tithes. No, but at the end of the day, I give my tithes. At the end of the day, I serve my God well. I donate to my church. I do all of that. Do I have necessarily? Because the presentation and the
good. After all the presentation and all the big grammar that they are looking for. Me and you, hold on, me and you will go and answer to the master one.
I give my tithes. I support my church.
I will advise.
I do all of it.
Fine. Let's go ahead. Let's go like that. Let's go like that. See, we'll sit in this country. God will bless us. We'll go to church, go to Akria Mountains, pray, and God should give us job. God, open. You get a big job. You go and sit on a big high table. And when you were struggling and God helped you to put you there, He said, look at my people and help my people too. You say corporate. Okay, I get you, but wait, I have an advice for my people.
Advice.
Listen, don't mind what these people are saying. No. Just continue doing yourself good and continue. See, now I'm so excited that gospel people have been pegged with the other people, and you could see that we are actually doing well. Sometimes we even beat them to it. When we talk about branding, we talk about quality of product that we churn out. We talk about events and patronage. Phenomenal. What didn't people say about Dana Hamilton? See what's going on. Even Muslims are singing her songs. What are you saying?
Perfect.
Wait, I'm saying advice for my people. Relationship. Begin to build relationship. God, if this woman, what's the name of your church? Your
My church, Emmanuel Methodist.
Where's the branch?
That's
I think I have to join that church.
You have to join that church.
Locate the right church and build
look for the right people.
connections. Every Sunday or every Saturday, if you're a 7-day Adventist,
We don't even have a corporate
Go and
like
greet
as
them.
Christians.
go and greet them.
We
Hello.
don't hang out.
Let me bring this girl. Hello, good evening. Your name and where you're calling from. Hello, good evening. Your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, very serious.
Yeah, this is someone.
This your name again.
There's someone.
Samuel, please go ahead.
Yeah, please, I'd like just to say about.
Okay, thank you.
And I want to contribute.
Go ahead, Samuel. Go ahead, Samuel.
Please, sometimes we don't even need to go to corporate for support if Christians are united. Example, if I belong to a church and I'm an artist and I'm going to perform, and all the members in the church can even support a little, I don't need to go to corporate.
Okay. Thank you.
Today we are treating corporate.
Thank you very much,
I
Samuel.
beg you.
Thank you very much,
We
Samuel.
are treating
See what I
corporate
say?
today.
This is the problem.
If you are ready for corporate, don't go.
This is the problem.
This one Fakir's
This is the problem. I have a
This one Fakir's promoting. Go and see
You
what
have the
I'm doing.
opportunity to somebody
The
there.
corporates,
Oh,
the
God.
other one is doing research to go and present the proposal. And you are somewhere
Yes,
praying.
let's
I'm
pray.
not saying prayer
Let's
don't
get
go,
the people
but
in
you
the
have
church.
to do the right investment at the right time.
Okay, we have like 5 minutes to the show. Frankie, so Frankie, I'll come to you last. I know. Obi, your final comments. We're going to discuss. We're going to continue this next week. If please, please. Next week. So you are going to join us next week. You're going to continue this.
Christianity is not ignorance. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Every Christian, we're supposed to have a level of wisdom. Let's apply the wisdom in all areas of our lives. For those of us in events, let's utilize our God-given wisdoms, the things we have gone to school to learn when we come into gospel event. Let's not put them down and go and sit somewhere and say, I'm fasting to go and receive a sponsorship from Vivo. Meanwhile, you have to do the right things to get a sponsorship. It doesn't work. God doesn't work in the vacuum. God, we'll talk about this one next week.
We'll talk about it next week. Your final words. Next week you are joining us, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I was saying that there's a lot that we have as Christians in terms of resource, and we need to utilize. We have the people, we have the followership. We need to be able to organize and present it as such. We need to understand what the corporate body is looking for, and we need to let them know that we have it, and then demonstrate it. Then they would buy into our proposals, and I trust that that is what every corporate institution is looking for. An organized body that has the followership that they can partner with.
Thank you very much, Ifwa. Frankie, final words for this week.
My final words. Corporate Ghana have just refused to look on the way of gospel. And I must be very honest, very frank about it. Obi is beating around the bush.
Hold on. You've had your final word.
No,
You've had your final word.
I'm not disagreeing.
I
So
get
why
it.
is
But
he
you have your
messing
final
with
word.
him?
No.
He has
You have
messed
your
with
final
him.
word.
I don't disagree with him.
You have your
All
final
I'm
word.
saying is
Corporate
that
Ghana.
if corporate Ghana decide not to help us,
Corporate Ghana.
it's
we should find a way of getting him there.
You've had your final word.
Thank you.
Frankie, go ahead.
With him.
Okay, I'm on the floor now.
I understand everything. I do. Go ahead.
I'm on the
Frankie.
floor.
Yes.
But you mentioned my name.
Obi, I'm on the floor.
My name.
No, Obi.
You
Go ahead,
invited me.
Frankie. Go
Okay,
ahead.
sorry for mentioning your name.
Frankie, go ahead.
Corporate Ghana have refused to look on the way of gospel. Unfortunately, we are the people that can give you the value, the quality, and what you are expecting your brand to have. That pride that you are looking forward to.
We can
Put
give
that gospel artist on that billboard.
We'll give it to you.
And stop giving it to these people.
Thank you very much.
That one I
Thank
agree
you.
with.
We are the people
That
that
one I
can give you the pride, that value, the loyalty you're looking for. And if I even send it in a submission, we are the people that can give you that loyalty, that value. So So start considering it. Next week we're going to continue this topic. Happy Father's Day to Obi that. Happy Father's Day to Faki Five, their fathers.
My father, happy Father's
Yes, so Happy Father's Day to your dad. What's the name?
My dad, Mr. Kwame Namwisi, I'm wishing him a happy Father's Day. He's listening. I hope so.
Okay.
I love him so much.
Happy Father's Day to all fathers.
All the fathers.
Happy Father's Day to myself.
Yeah,
Papa K, the GM of JTV. Happy Father's Day to you. My father Nicholas. No, Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. The ladies, you didn't wish me Happy Father's, so I will wish your fathers. Happy Father's. I wish your father.
I wish your fathers.
Edith, you said it, so you Happy Father's Day to your father. Belinda, I will say it to you. You're the fatherly figure of your father. I will say it to you. My name is Nina. We'll do this next week, 5:15 to 7 p.m. The repeat will be tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So let's meet next week. The discussion will continue on the Facebook, and next week we will be bigger and better. Keep watching GNTV.
Sansaninga kupong.